Hi guys, welcome back to the Mutual Friends podcast. How are you? How are you doing? How was your Christmas? This is the first Mutual Friends episode of the new year, which is so exciting. I hope that your holidays were great. I hope your New Year's were great. Did you get to spend time with your family for Christmas? Did you have like a quaint Christmas? We do the same Christmas every year where we go to my parents or like my family, because my parents live 10 doors down from my grandparents, and so like my giant family gathers. So Joseph and his mom comes to visit us. We go over there, and then we go to Joseph's family down in Alabama the day after Christmas. And then it's my mom's birthday, and then it's New Year's, and it's crazy. It's craziness. And so it was definitely a lot. I feel like I wish, since we visit like Joseph's family after Christmas, that like time between Christmas and New Year's that normally people get to decompress, you put away your gifts, you like organize. We don't really get that. So I feel like I could absolutely deal with do with like another week or something, but regardless, I'm so excited for this episode, which I'm actually kind of surprised I'm excited for this episode, because obviously like New Year, most people are talking about goals. I hate goals. I hate them. I think that I despise them. I really, really do. And that comes from deep-rooted trauma that I'm going to spill on this episode full and raw, because I know why that is a thing, and I know the exact point that my will was broken. So we're going to reveal that to you today. But, what we are going to go over is I actually do have a list of goals. I'm doing it differently because, again, I hate goals. I'm doing it differently, and we do have ins and outs, and I've actually really, really enjoyed this, like, ins and outs of 2024 trend, because I think it's a very, like, soft way to approach the new year and things that you want to do. I feel this like flutter of inspiration in my belly. Like I'm not scared of, hold on, that's a lie. I'm not as scared of like setting, even like verbalizing things that I want to do. I gotta say, guys, I tell you guys a lot of things, I am very open, very honest. I'm sure it's going to kick me in the ass one day. And this feels like the most vulnerable thing to do, is like tell you guys like things that I want to do in 2024. But I also feel safe in this environment. I feel safe with you guys listening or watching on YouTube. Like, you guys, this is us. This is us right here. So I hope that you feel that there's a safe space. I hope that you actually end up inspired by this, or like leaving, I want you to feel that fun, fluttery feeling of excitement, creativity, all that kind of stuff when you leave today's episode, because that's how I'm currently feeling, and I'm feeling good about it. So before we get into that, we do have, obviously, the group chat to go through. There are some pretty major stories that we need to discuss. I also feel like, obviously, we took a break. I didn't post on Christmas, and so I feel like I haven't chatted with you guys in a while, so I'm trying to think of what else I need to update you on. I'm not gonna do like a Christmas haul. I don't love the vibe of that. Like, I think it's fun, but I don't love the vibe of that. But some things that I got, Joseph got me like all the caraway pan, like both like big caraway pan sets, which is crazy to me. That is dreams. They're beautiful. They're green. I got to replace a bunch of like our old pots and pans, which was amazing. He got me a wetsuit so I can do more surfing in 2024 and go surfing when it's cold out. What else? I got, oh my God, and I got the G7X, I think it's like Mark II or something, that like, it's a little vlogging and like photography camera. So I'm going to be we're getting ahead of ourselves. Anyway, I got the like influencer camera. I feel so internet right now. It's so cute. What else? Over, Christmas, when we went to Alabama, I visited one of those, like safaris that you drive through and the animals come in the window. That was terrifying and so fun. We almost brought my car, but then we decided to bring the bigger car, which was Joseph's mom's, and I'm actually so glad we did that, because there was animal food all over. Like, obviously their heads are like coming in the window, and then they're like trying to eat out of this bucket that is not big enough for their head, and so it's just spraying everywhere. It was so funny. I got to pet a zebra, so that was amazing. We have our friends visiting for New Year's. Not all of squad, but many of squad. What else? I don't really know what else there is to tell you. I feel like there's a lot to catch up on, but I think it'll actually be like, we'll go over it, a lot of it in the meat of the episode with the goals and the ins and outs and all that kind of thing. So with that, let's head into the group chat. First story, let's talk about Martha Stewart's selfie. If you have not seen this selfie, I'm telling you, this woman is iconic. She looks insane, and I know there's so much cosmetic work behind that. Art. That is art. She looks stunning. Her caption was, after an 8-hour plane trip from Westchester to Palm Beach, horrible by the way, we went to bed early and wore my beautiful Gypsy Rose nightgown, linen with robe. I didn't look so bad when I got up, at least not as bad as I did when I went to bed. It must be the money sign outfit. She's just slaying the day away. I saw on somebody's out that the word slay is out, which I totally understand, but here's my issue with that. I didn't use slay really often until I saw that, and then now I cannot stop using the word slay. So I'm not sure what to do with that. I need this to be something that falls out of my vocabulary. But for now, no, she's slaying the day away. Martha Stewart is just, I feel like there must be a book on her. And if there's not, I need there to be one. I want to read about her eras of life because she's had so many. The woman went to prison, and now she's a queen, and she is like best friends with Snoop Dogg, which for both of them, I feel like from a brand perspective, that is so smart. I just think that works. So loving that for Martha. Next story, Gypsy Rose Blanchard speaks out in first videos since prison release. Of course, Gypsy Rose Blanchard got released from prison after she spent, she did 8 years of her 10-year parole, I believe, when I was reading. I was also watching some videos on this. One of the creators, it is The Mad Hatter. I was watching her video on it. And here's the thing. I am, with this, Gypsy's whole story is so sad, the abuse that she went through from her mom. And I think, looking at what I've seen from the trial, I think I agree that she should have been released. She's released on, I don't know what it's called. It's like probation, maybe. I'm not sure what the actual term is, but I think she served 8 years of that 10 years. She, good behavior, whatever, what have you. I think I agree of her being released, but I do not quite understand why we're celebrating it. And somebody tell me if there's something I'm missing, but she coerced a mentally ill man who at the time was her husband. I believe she's married to some other guy now, or at the time was her boyfriend, and now I believe she's married to some other guy, into killing her mom, who yes, that was her abuser. Her mom did terrible things to her, and that is not justified by any means. But she need to escape. But why are we excited about it? Why are we excited about her release? Do I think, based on what I've seen, I think her release is deserved. She served her time. I'm a little, it just does not rub me the right way how we are celebrating her so much. Her entire career now, she is a celebrity. She's coming out with an ebook. She is going to ride this fame, and that will be her, life, which I am so 100% somebody that is for, in terms of, if something goes viral on the internet, if you do something on the internet, and if you want to utilize that and make a career out of being on the internet, obviously I did it. I love my job. So I'm like, yeah, I totally think that there's strategic ways to be about it. So I am typically like, yeah, like if you have a reason that you know, have gone viral or whatever, and you want to strategically play that and make this your career, I'm like, go forth, my blessing. This is a little weird to me. Like, she's famous for killing her mom, and we are like really gung-ho about it. I find it very odd, very odd. Maybe I'm missing something, but it just doesn't sit right with me. And then this boyfriend, who again, from the information that I have seen, is a deeply mentally, at the time of this act, he's deeply mentally unwell, has, you know, mental disorders, like, again, from what I've seen. And there was, it seems like there was manipulation going on here, like Gypsy manipulated him into doing that act. And you know, there are so many sides, but it just seems weird to me. But she did release her first video. She is on the internet. She is talking about it. She said, "I'm finally free. I just wanted to send a quick video to thank everyone for the massive amount of support that I've been getting on social media. Everyone has been really, really nice and supportive, and I really appreciate that. It's nice being home. I'm back home in Louisiana." She spent some time with her dad and her family, but it just doesn't quite sit right with me. Something just doesn't, but please head to the comments and let me know if you feel differently or there's something, like, what are your thoughts on this? I want to know. Last story. This is kind of a two-parter because old Amanda Bynes gave us the old one too. So Amanda Bynes released that she's canceling her new podcast after just one episode. She decides to focus on the pursuit of a new goal. Quickly thereafter, she then released, never mind, she is actually going to podcast again. Just let me read this whole thing. So Amanda Bynes got on social media. She is launching a podcast. She did launch a podcast, episode 1 of the podcast. Her videos, of course, like, Amanda Bynes has had a really, really hard past, and her videos, I think, kind of show where her mental state lies. I'm very excited that she is, like, doing new pursuits. Like, I think a podcast is really, really cool. I think this is a great opportunity. I haven't listened to it. But I do find it odd that she's having guests. I'm like, Amanda, I feel like we would want to hear about your story, but that may not be what she wants to focus on right now. So anyway, released her first episode, cancels it. On Thursday, the 37-year-old actress shared that she's planning to discontinue filming and recording on her show, Amanda Bynes, and I'm going to ruin this man's name, Paul Sieminsky, maybe? The podcast. I actually don't know who that is, but I'm sure I'm supposed to, and I apologize. The cancellation comes after she announced earlier this week that she would be taking a pause on the project, which lasted a few days. The first episode, this is a quote from her, "The first episode of my podcast did really well. I was actually surprised and of course was going to keep going after friends encouraged me to. After thinking about it though, I would rather get my manicurist license and have a consistent job." Bynes wrote in an Instagram story, "I'm going to follow that path instead." Okay. The Hairspray actress went on to thank fans for following along and supporting her on her journey as she figures out her life. So she said she would be taking a break from the new podcast amid issues with booking high-profile guests. Among her list of desired names to drop in were musicians like Drake, Jack Harlow, and Post Malone. So it really sounded like, oh, she did this podcast, and then she tried to get these high-profile guests. They weren't coming on, so she was like, never mind, I'm not going to do this anymore, which would be so, like, you know, dumb. Personally, like, it's just, you know, you got to keep going. And then she's like, no, actually, I'm going to, like, focus on being a manicurist. I'm like, okay, you know, this is a very, very public platform to be very wishy-washy on, but okay. And then she came back. So the former child star, who took a, quote, pause over the weekend after streaming just one episode on Monday, walked back her comments on TikTok. Bynes said she would resume the show and give it ample time to develop. Quote, "I think podcasts take time to grow, to build a following. I shouldn't have said what I said last night about not getting the type of guests that we were looking forward to getting, because you never know, you might get them in the future. And the guests that we have lined up are really great. I'm really looking forward to filming the next episode." I'm just, what's going on? What's going on? You know, I haven't followed Amanda. Here's the thing. am I the only one who, seeing Amanda's videos about her podcast, are the first time that I have seen Amanda or like heard from Amanda or heard about her whereabouts since Hairspray? That I cannot be the only one. So this is like news to me in terms of, oh, she has a podcast and like what's going on with that. But also it's just news. It's like, Amanda, what are you doing? How are you doing? I was reading some things about a conservatorship. I think she's out of that conservatorship now. I'm just like, I don't know. And unfortunately, this is so like, we keep seeing these stars in these, in like the child actor, that like 90s and 2000, really early 2000s era of child actors. Hilary Duff seems to be the only one that's really made it out. Raven Simone, I think, has actually done pretty well. Alison Stoner has done pretty well. So not the only ones, but with these like Lindsay Lohan's, Amanda Bynes, and it's just like, it's how, I don't know, how did it go so far? Like, where did we go wrong? And in her videos, she really doesn't seem well. Even like the way that she like describes the podcast, or like the verbiage that she uses, is kind of interesting. I obviously have not been following her journey, but this is the first time that I've heard from her. I'm like, okay, I'm really excited for the podcast. I hope that she does continue with the podcast. I do think that I find it interesting to be coming from why would Amanda Bynes like interview Drake? That's my question. Like, I feel like they should take a like Christy Carlson Romano type of angle to it, who she is having a bunch of the like old Disney stars come on. I think it's so funny, and it's like just so well done, and there's this nostalgia about it that I think is genius. And then they're also bringing on like relevant, people from other sides, but they have like this core of like, the child stars of Disney and Nickelodeon. I feel like that would have been a really cool spin, like either Amanda going on there or Amanda not copying them, but like starting with maybe her co-stars or something like that. So I'm a little confused, but I mean, happy to see that she's alive and potentially well. I think she's doing better than she was. So we will see if we will continue to get a podcast from Amanda Bynes. But those were the stories. I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more exciting for the start of 2024, but that is okay, because now we're going to get into the depth of the podcast. Now we're going to get into my deep set trauma on goal setting. So when I say I hate goal setting, I want to explain why. So let's like bring it back. Like, let's just reel this in a little bit. And I'm going to do this I've told like my story in terms of like graduating college and my chemistry career and that kind of stuff. But I'm going to do this in terms of if you have never heard those episodes before, because we honestly do have a lot of new listeners. So if you did not know, I graduated college back in 2019, right before the pandemic, year. So I feel so bad for the year that came after me. But I graduated with a chemistry degree. I was a STEM kid for my entire life. STEM was really, and STEM, I realized like now everybody knows what STEM, it's, science, tech, engineering, and math. So it's just like anything under that umbrella. And I was always like the gifted and talented kid, or like the honors classes kids, or whatever you call it in your elementary school or middle schools or whatever. I was in that group of kids, and we were heavily pushed. This is relevant, I promise. Heavily pushed for going into this like science path. And I have a very supportive family, and but for whatever reason, somewhere along the lines, in my mind, this seed was placed where if I was not going into something in STEM, I was going to fail. I got this idea that like business degrees were a cop-out degree, like it was basically like a fake degree. Fully believed this, and I don't know where that came from, because we have business degrees in my family, so I do not know. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I got that in my mind. I got that if I didn't have a science career, I would fail. I would have no money. I would have no life. I don't think I really understood like what would happen, but I knew they'd be bad. So just a really bizarre mindset to have. And with that, I was in a biomedical program in high school, and I was going to go into physics in college, and then my college did not actually have physics, so I did the next best thing in my thoughts, and I went into chemistry, and I went all 4 years, and I got my degree in chemistry. Joseph was my boyfriend at the time. He couldn't tell you, like, he knew all 4 years. He was like, why are you doing chemistry? You don't even like it. But here's the thing. Every time that I would tell somebody, oh, I'm a chemistry major. Oh, I'm going to be a chemist, like whatever. They'd be like, wow, you are so smart. Wow, you must be like, honestly, yeah, they'd be like, that's so cool. You're so smart. You're doing amazing. And so I would hear that and be like, oh, other people are saying that's so cool. I'm so smart. I'm doing amazing. So I must be cool, smart, and doing amazing. I took no regard really for my personal interests. I found marketing and I found like social media and stuff in college as like an interest of mine. I did it on the side. I did a couple like little jobs about it. And then I sort of was like, okay, I see that I have an interest in this. Maybe I will like work for a makeup brand and be on their product development team. And so I get to creatively like think of products to develop, but not understand the science behind it. I don't know. It was such a backwards way of thinking. And bless her little soul who was like going through college with this plan. But all I knew was that I had a graduation date. I'd get this degree, and like, I kind of didn't know anything past that. So then when my senior year came around, I was applying for so many jobs. I applied for over 50 jobs. I was applying for marketing jobs because at this point I realized like I had an interest to work in marketing, but I had a degree in chemistry, of course. So I thought, oh, they'll see the chemistry degree and be so impressed that they'll be like, oh, we have to have her. She's so smart. So dumb. Like, what was going through my mind? I do not know, but that's what I thought. And funnily enough, that did not happen. The people that, was seeing my application did not know what to do with a chemist trying to apply. Weird. So then, but I set a goal for myself, and I said, you will walk across the stage with a job. Like at graduation, you will walk across the stage with a job. And not only a job, you will walk off the stage with a career. I wanted it to be like, not, I couldn't just go work at Ulta again or something like that. Like I had to have a career. I don't know why. I highly recommend like anybody graduating college, put zero. I wish I wouldn't have looked at a job board until the fall. Honestly, I wish I would have given myself at least the summer, traveled, because there is at least 3 months, more like a year, of like unlearning that needs to be done. You really have to learn who you are outside of college. Okay. Anyway, and I did it. So I set that goal for myself, and I did. I got a job as a research and development chemist at a pharmaceutical company. And again, everybody was like, that's so cool. You're so smart. That's amazing. So I was like, you know what? Never mind. Maybe this is what I was meant to do. Like this is probably right. It wasn't. I was there for 6 months, and then I left. I was a shell of a person. It took 2 months of therapy to undo what, like, not only that job did, but what my mental state did in teaching myself that this was my only measurement for success. This was the only storyline and path that I could go down for success. When I left college, like with college, it's like take course A, take course B, and there's a graduation date. It's a definite end, and you know where you're standing in life is if you're doing well because there's grades. You know how close you are to graduation. There's an end date. You have like these type of things. With life, there is none of that, and I did not know what to do with this open space. I just wanted somebody to tell me like if I was doing it right. I had no way to like grade myself, and I cannot explain the deep root, like true roots in my mind and in my heart on that was my understanding of life. And if I was not being graded, I did not know what to do. So when I left that job, like I had my first anxiety attack. It was like insane. I moved back home and essentially was like, okay, I'm going to pick my life back up. Not really sure what I wanted to do. And So I was like, okay, every goal that I've set for myself, like I achieved, and my life feels like it is in the gutter. Like I didn't know who I was. I missed the girl who was happy. It felt like I would never get back to her. It took a while, years. But then I know the exact time that like I don't know, it feels like a stick is breaking or something, that I realized like I no longer had a good relationship with goals. I went to a Rachel Hollis conference, the January of 2020. Throwback. Anybody who was a Rachel Hollis person, if you weren't, imagine any self-help rah-rah guru type of thing. I was a huge fan of Rachel Hollis, a huge fan. Went to two of her conferences actually. This was one of her like life conferences. I don't remember what it was called. And I went with my friend, and you get a workbook, and we were doing this thing. We were doing an exercise, and she had us describe our like perfect day, where we wanted to be in 10 years or something like that, and goals. And I looked down at the page, and my friend Emily, she reminded me of this actually. And so I was like, oh my God, I have to tell that story. She's writing down her goals and what she wants to do in 10 years. And I looked at the page and I started bawling, tears just falling onto this booklet, because I was petrified of setting a goal, because all of a sudden, what if I don't get it? What if I fail? Like, I didn't want people to ask, like, what are you doing? Because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where I wanted to be. I didn't know who I was. And it was just, I literally had to get up and leave the like conference, or like it was in like a stadium. I had to go out, go to the bathroom, figure it out. And I have never had a good relationship with goals since when I started the job I have now at the marketing agency. My boss consistently asks me, he's like, what goals do you have? And it is such a struggle for me to actually give an answer, because I'm like, I'm so happy with where I am. Like, I love this. And like, why would I set goals when my entire world could crumble beneath me? Why would I set goals when I can't predict anything that's going to happen? And when I tried, and I got it right, everything went to shit. Like, what do I do with that? And so, this year I went through my notes app. I first did the ins and outs, and I actually did set some goals. I am learning to push past the fear. I had somebody message me. Actually, it was Kayla Moran, who is on the Let's Get Candid podcast. She's been a podcast guest before. She messaged me. She was like, I don't remember totally what she said. She said, I don't set goals. I set like milestones or something, but essentially she doesn't put a timeline on it. The more that I've been watching goal videos, which I have avoided for like, the past however many years, like a lot of people are saying, I didn't reach a lot of my goals for 2023, and like, that's fine. And so I'm learning to be comfortable with sort of shooting my shot, with pointing out what I want. I think the goals that I set are pretty safe. Like, I don't think there's much that it's like, oh, that would be crazy if we did that. Like, all of it feels pretty attainable. And I think that's kind of where I need to sit now. And even like, I know people, it's like SMART goals. They need to be measurable. They need to be on a timeline. I'm not doing any of that. I don't want that. I don't want that kind of pressure. These are going to be like very, this is me like trying to enter my goal era, and we're going to be very quiet as I like tiptoe my way through. Nobody make too much loud noise. Nobody cheer, or else I'll get scared off and run. We're going to try goals for this year, and we're doing it in a fun way. So let's start with the 2024 ins and outs. I think this is so fun. This was also sort of good for self-reflection, and I think that this is such a nice, like, I almost only did this and I was like, no, let me try like actually setting some goals. So in hosting, I want to host more. I want to host more dinners. I want to host more parties. I want to host little game nights. I want more friends to come over. I want to be a hosting girly. I have like a absolute like chaos closet that I want to turn into a hosting closet. I think that would be so fun. And yeah, I just want to host more in slow living. And here's the thing, this is selective slow living because I'm not a slow living kind of person. I don't see 2024 as being a slow type of year. Obviously, like I'm going to New York and I work in marketing, so it's something's always on fire. I'm on the internet. Like I love going out. I love being with friends, but I think that what I do want to prioritize is very intentional quiet time and not being unintentional with the quiet time that I have. So that, might be if I have open space, maybe not just like scrolling on my phone or something, but doing something like sitting outside on the porch. And maybe one night we grill because it's a really nice day outside, or we do more walking, or I pick up like crocheting or something. Like I don't know, just more intentional relaxing time, more intentional restorative time would be really nice. In also with that is watching movies. I don't is sitting down and watching TV. I don't sit and watch TV enough. Like I know like some people may have a goal of like not doing that as much. My goal is to sit on my ass and watch TV more, like be able to just sit there and enjoy the film in front of me or whatever I want to get into. I really want to get into Southern Charm. I have to figure out a way to watch it, but I want to get into like sitting down and watching shows and having a nice relaxing ritual with that. I think that would be amazing. Also in designated us time, us being me and Joseph. This is also probably coming off the holidays where I'm feeling like me and Joseph have not gotten to just be with each other in so long. Like we've had people, and of course we've enjoyed the company of those people, but we have not been able to just be us in several weeks. We'll go to bed at night and we like literally, I'll be like, I miss you. He's like, I miss you too. And we were together all day, but we were together and with other people and doing a bunch of things. And so designated us time, date nights, going to like, we have a pickleball set. We've never gone and played pickleball. Like I'd love to do that, going to the beach. Like I want more of that. Also in generosity, I would love to do a lot more donations in 2024, do a lot more work with a local shelter, I don't know what generosity is going to look like. I love being generous with friends. I have some gifts for you guys that I'm like sending out. We've got a giveaway happening. Like that type of generosity, I think like obviously generosity is always in, but is very in 2024. Also in celebrating achievements. I'm not great at this, but I'm getting there. I am going to be planning some sort of event for hitting 700K on TikTok. And I think that there needs to be more celebration around things. Like, these celebrations don't have to be huge, but I want to actively get better about getting excited about achievements, which hopefully that'll also help with the goal setting thing. Also in personal style, this is going to be, I was just about to say this is going to be my year of like finding my personal style. And then I got scared to say that because like, what if I don't find my personal style in 2024? I do understand that I need to get a grip. But I would like to find my personal style and just become more confident in my personal style. I think like I can visualize my personal style on a Pinterest board. I can be like, give a yes or a no. But I'm not super great at like buying pieces to then put together on a daily basis, things that I think really match my style. I do it like every once in a while. So that is in. Also in creativity, I want to do more creative projects like redecorating, doing the personal style project. I want to do like just do some work with like different rooms of the house. I want to do some film things and do some production work. So just more creativity. Also in is walking. Lots more walking. I just need more walking in my life. I need to do more walking, fresh air, breathing, being outside, being a human. I think that would be really nice. Also in for me, this is maybe like hot take is Instagram and YouTube, because those are two platforms that I really want to focus on in the new year. So that's a very me thing. And then secondhand clothing. I love when, like, one, I want to become a thrifty queen, like going to thrift stores and like getting really cool pieces. This goes into my personal style thing. And then I've been really, really good at, I love when the influencers I follow posts that they're selling clothing and everything on their Instagram stories or on Poshmark or Depop or whatever. And I want to get, like, I love seeing those, and I'll buy some pieces. I have one influencer that I have bought from her 3 times at least. I love, we're the same size. And so I want to do more of that. And then I also want to do more like curated things. Like I'm like, oh, I'm looking for this type of shoe. And then I go search for it on like Depop or in a thrift store, something like that. I would love that. So those are my ins for 2024. Actually, I'm going to add scrapbooking because I think I want to start scrapbooking. I literally got I got like what are those things called? Polaroid camera. I got one of those things that I can print photos from my phone so I can start scrapbooking. I've been saving things to scrapbook. My first thing I want to scrapbook is about our New Year celebration. And so I think that'd be very, very fun. So I'm adding that. But yeah, those are my ins. I thought this was a really great way to sort of dip my toe into like getting excited about the new year without like I have to really watch myself, because I will like, warm up and get a little bit excited about goals, and then if it gets too much, then I immediately retreat and I freak out. So I have to just keep this nice lukewarm thing. It's like a toddler. Out. I didn't actually have a lot of outs. For whatever reason, I felt a lot of pressure with the outs. You'll notice a theme in anytime I feel pressure, I start to like in this, like I do really well under pressure in these types of situations. This is where the pressure makes me want to shit my pants. So, okay. Outs, not communicating emotions. I'm getting better at this, but, I will often, especially with Joseph, I will hide emotions, or I will, sometimes it's that I haven't worked them out myself, so I don't know how to communicate them. But then I think even that, Joseph's been like, maybe if you talk to me, you'll be able to sort them out, which is so true. Also, he hates when I'm like, oh, whatever, like, oh, whatever you want to do. And like, let's, no, it's fine. We don't have to do my thing. Like, let's go where you want to eat, whatever. He doesn't like when I get wishy-washy like that. And, I will default to that, to like not wanting to say my opinion or say where I want to go or what I want to do. I'll just be like, oh no, I just want to like make you happy. And it comes from, yes, of course I want to make him happy, but it comes from people pleasing. And so I also want to be better about communicating that, like, this is what I want to do right now, because honestly, it's much easier to deal with a person, and it's much easier to please people when they know exactly what you want. Like, when you're asking somebody, what do they want for dinner? They're like, I don't know. Like, that's annoying. Oh, whatever you want. That's annoying. I don't want to be that annoying person. Waking up unnecessarily early. Some people are going to have like wake up early on their New Year's resolutions. I'm giving that up. Do you know why? Because I learned about chronotypes. Have you ever seen, or like, have you figured out your chronotype? Because if you haven't, I think this is so one of the health things that I'm like, this is actually life-changing. I thought that I was like a go to bed at 9:30, wake up at like 6:30 kind of bitch. I thought that really was where I was comfortable, where I was happiest, how I woke up the happiest. I got an Oura ring. I've loved it. I got it several months ago. And then in the app, it said, based on your sleeping patterns, we've figured out your chronotype. Here's what it is. Your ideal bedtime is 12:30 and waking up at 8:30. I said, what? What? And then on it, like, in the app, it can give me more like ideals, like tonight you should go to bed at like around this time type of thing. I did it. I did 12:30 to 8:30, and I felt so good. And I'm going to continue with that. So getting up at 6, why? Who told me that? Who told me to do that? Or Ring told me that I should get up at 8:30. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get up at 8:30. Like, thankfully I work from home, so I have, the privilege of doing that. But yeah, getting up unnecessarily early? Nope. Not doing it. Number 3, that's out. This was one that made me nervous because I know I'm going to do it. Like, I know it's something that I struggle with, so I'm going to do it. And me writing something down and saying I'm not going to do it and then doing it, to me, again, sounds like I'm doing something wrong. But, we're, again, all working through these emotions. Comparing my progress to others. Social media is a fantastic way to do this. It really is. You know what I love? I love looking at other people's followings, and I totally I'll see how I like measure up. and be like, oh, okay, they have more than me. What should I be doing better? Or they have less than me, but they probably should have more than they have. Like, I need to still be doing better because they're doing amazing videos and they aren't getting the following they deserve. Like, just, none of that. And it's not just on social media, it's also in real life. I think that for me, since my career is social media, that it gets tied in. But anytime, like looking at family members, looking at friends, oh my God, especially the people that we graduated with, like looking at their progress, no comparing progress. It's so stupid and it's irrelevant. Like anytime that next time you think that, oh, they're doing this, I should be doing this, please understand that what they're doing is completely irrelevant to you. I want you to hear that word, irrelevant to you. And I'm speaking to myself in this as well. As speaking to myself in this as well. I have no idea the English words that came out of my mouth. I think you do, though. So I'm going to trust that you understood what I was trying to say. It's irrelevant. It just doesn't have anything to do with you. So why even bother? It's like saying, oh my gosh, I saw a bird today, so I'm going to eat spaghetti. Like there's no correlation. So don't try to make a correlation. Don't do it. Also out, waiting until the last minute / not preparing. This is also something that I'm not very good at. Like I really, packing for a trip, let's pack early. If I have an event, let's buy the outfit early. Let's make a plan. I'm a big like fly by the seat of my pants type of person. And I think a lot of that I love. Like there's some of that I'm not going to let go of. It's in my nature, but I would like to be a little bit more prepared. And I think the people around me would be very grateful if I did that. And then lastly, out is doom scrolling. Listen, I love a good scroll. I love a good rotten bed scroll. I love a good, and for me, social media is so inspiring. Like, I really like it. But there's times where I know that you can feel it in like your finger behavior where you close at TikTok and then you open TikTok again. Like you realize like you're just trying to fill time. I don't just want to fill time. This is where the slow living comes in, where I then want to do something else with that time. Do something else, like fill your time with something else, go on a walk, write a card, I don't know, something that isn't just like flipping through the internet. If you want to scroll, that's great, but just make sure you're doing it intentionally. Intentional scrolling from now on. So those were my ins and my outs. I hope you love them. Let me know if you've made an in and out list. And if you have, and you posted it somewhere, I would love for you to tag me. I'd love to see them. I really, really like seeing everybody's ins and out lists because I also see that people are taking the ins and outs thing like kind of different ways. And so I like to see how people are sort of interpreting this. Okay, let's get into the goals. Let's be crazy. Let's be wild. I am doing this as a bingo card. And if you haven't seen it, I think doing your goals as a bingo card, it felt very approachable to me. I think it's fun, and you try to get a bingo. It's weird. It seemed less overwhelming until I realized I needed to come up with 24 goals, which I'll explain how to do in a second. But when I saw the goal bingo card, it was so cute. And I was like, this is a great way to make it fun. Like I can totally do this. And making it a bingo card makes it much more approachable. So with this, here's the thing, bingo, I had to look it up. It's 5 by 5. So that's 25 goals. The middle space is the free space. I saw somebody do it where their free space or their wild card was something that they know is going to happen. So turning 27, like that. Oh, I turned 27 this year. Oh, you know what? No, we're not gonna do negative emotion around aging. That's so last year. We're not gonna do that. Okay. Anyways, they did a thing that they know is gonna happen. I like just keeping the middle space as a free space. So I set 24 goals. And I think this does give the opportunity to have I see somebody do, they'll do 5 goals in health, 5 goals in personal, 5 goals in career, things like that. I didn't do that. You could also, I think this gives an opportunity to make like smaller goals because you have to make 24 of them. So they don't need to be like astronomical or crazy. There's some that can be like, you can have a couple that are like stretch goals and then some that are like more like smaller ones, much easier to attain, like things like that. So let me go through these and not sweat bullets. Number 1, this one is my most vulnerable, an average of 1,000 listens per episode. I am extremely self-conscious about the podcast. I'm extremely self-conscious about its performance, because in my head, I have these things that I want it to be. Oh my, I'm like gripping my sweatshirt. I think that it should be doing better than it is based on my personal following. And that just doesn't always translate. So, 2024 is definitely, I want to grow the podcast a lot more. I'm very proud of where the podcast is now. I'm so happy with the rebrand. I'm so excited for what it looks like. And I'm very, very happy with what it is now. And now I just like those numbers to sort of reflect that. So, investing in that. Goodness. 1 million on TikTok. I think I can hit 1 million on TikTok in this year. I think because based on like the growth that I've been having, it's kind of weird. I don't know what like the growth from 700K to a mil looks like. 500K to 600K seemed like quite slow, but then 600K to 700K like did not seem as slow. So I don't know. It'll be very interesting. But I really think that this could be the year that I hit 1 million on TikTok. I think that'd be amazing. Some of these I like listed them multiple times because I want to do them multiple times. So rather than saying 2 public speaking gigs, I'm saying, like I put public speaking twice. So when I do one, I can check it off. When I do another, I can check it off. I already have one like pretty set up for 2024, which is huge. I don't know how I'm going to top this. Like it's a big deal. I wish I could tell you. I'll tell you as soon as I'm able to, but I would love to do a lot more public speaking. A film project. This could be a movie, a commercial. This is one of my like more out there goals. I would really love to be in more film. I'm thinking of taking acting classes. I think that'd be so fun. Become a YouTube vlogger. Now I know what some people are going to say. How do you know when you become one? Weird. No. Word, I'll know. I will know, I think, in my mind when I'm like, yes, I am a vlogger and I am comfortable like saying that I'm a vlogger. I've got my new vlog camera. I'm having a meeting with my one of my team members who does the editing on this podcast, and she's going to help me. She'll be editing them. She's amazing. So we've got the tools set in place, and I will know when I feel comfortable calling myself a YouTube vlogger. So anyways, I want to reach 100K on Instagram. That's pretty big. That seems like really, really big. To hit 100K on Instagram is crazy. I also put some like actions in place to become better on Instagram. So I'm very excited about that. Create a 2024 scrapbook. See, I just need to buy the scrapbook thing. So like, that's pretty, I can start it. This is something that I just want to prioritize. I think scrapbooking and that could be part of like slow living and be very cute. I love the idea of documenting this time of our life, like with my friends specifically. I really want it to surround my friends, of course, me and Joseph, those type of things. Number 9, become confident in surfing. Again, measurable, not really, but I'll know when I'm confident in surfing. I can tell you right now, it's not now. So I would like to be more confident in surfing, be able to go out by myself, feel really good about it. I want to go on a brand trip. And I'm not talking about like a Tarte Dubai trip or something like that. This could truly be like they fly me to wherever, maybe to do public speaking. They fly me to a place to tour a facility, but something where it is I'm working with a brand in that way and we are going somewhere. I think that would be so sick. I would love to have a relationship with a brand like that. Launch a product. This is also something that is already in the works. So I know that this will happen. But even saying I know that this will happen made me a little bit nervous. But I'm excited to launch a product. I think this will be one of many, so I'm very excited. So I'll keep you guys updated. I put host an event twice. I want to host at least 2 events. I have like the 700K celebration that I want to do, and then I'd like to host some sort of event that I could get, we all, podcast listeners, people who follow me, like we could all hang out in some way. I don't know what that would look like, but I think that'd be really fun. Read 30 books. I did 26 this year. I went a little bit below my goal of 35 books, which again, I'm practicing not being upset about, but I want to read 30 books this year. I have this habit of picking really, really, really long books, so maybe I need to work strategically on it. I want to go on a girls' trip. I already have one planned, but I want to go on a girls' trip. I think that'd be so fun. We are at 18. Number 19, I want to complete 5 art pieces. So canvas, I really love to paint. I really love to complete 5 big paintings. That was number 19. 20, I want to monetize the podcast, and 21, I want to monetize the YouTube channel. We are close to monetizing the YouTube channel. I don't know about the podcast yet. Again, like podcast growth is like such a big deal for me. So subscribe, please leave a comment, please go leave a 5-star review and share with your friends. Number 22, this is kind of funny. I want to get Charleston tour guide certified. So there's actually a test that you can take, and I want to take it with I think my mom might already be certified, or she's getting her certification. So I want to get certified in being a Charleston tour guide. I'm not going to work as a Charleston tour guide, at least I don't think I'm going to work as a Charleston tour guide, but I want to have the knowledge where I could tell people about the city. I love this city. And so I want to be able to walk around and be like, oh, this was the historical home of whatever. This is this, because I find it's so fun. I love knowing that. Number 23, change my name legally. We need to do that because I got married in 2022 and I still haven't changed my name legally. It will not change on any of my socials though. And then number 24, again, sort of far out there. I want to book a modeling gig. I think it'd be amazing. I would love to model. I want to get into modeling, and I would love to book a modeling gig and model for a brand. And I know that getting my Instagram up is going to be a big part of that. So look at that. I set goals. I did it. I set goals and I told you about them. That's exciting. Okay, everybody. Everybody feels really good right now. Nobody wants to stone me or anything. I'm just kidding. But I felt really good about those goals. I felt really good. I'm so excited to be excited about calling my shot and doing things. If you are like me and you kind of get nervous with goals, try the ins and outs first. Do ins, do outs, and then if you feel comfortable, try the bingo card. I thought it was more, it's almost like, at first I was like, oh my God, 24 goals, 24 goals. That's a lot. But then it was almost nicer to have so many because I was forced to think of them, and I was forced to make smaller ones. So it didn't feel like, okay, you're going to set only 3 goals, but then those 3 goals have to be it. They have to be exciting and you basically have to hit them. If I set 24 goals, if you hit half of that, that's incredible. So that kind of put some pressure off of it. Yeah, gosh, guys, 2024 is going to be big for us. I can feel it. I know it. It's going to be big for you. I am so, so happy that you're listening, and I'm really excited for what we've got in store. What do you want in 2024? What do you want from me? What do you want from the podcast in 2024? Let me know. I want to know right here, what do you want to see from the podcast? What events, what guests, what topics? This, it's your oyster. Let me know what you want. Your wish is my command. This was a good episode. I feel really, really good about it. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Anyways, guys, let's kick ass. All right. I love you so very much. Please subscribe, all the things. If you're watching on YouTube, very exciting. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a comment down below and if you liked it. And then if you are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever, please go leave a review, 5 stars, all the things. Please share with your friends and share the podcast to your socials so that we can repost you and shout you out on all the types of things and find more people to listen to the podcast. And yeah, I love you so much. It's not even funny. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.